Wow, just look at the Scythian population. Almost everyone is identifying as attack helicopters. Alright guys, real quick, if you don't want to be spoiled, go check out part 1 and part 2 of this series. This is turn 300, a lot of things have happened, and we're gonna just jump right into it. So first things first, unfortunately, the CK2 Sunset Invasion, it failed. I guess Scotland came down and just ruined everything. Obviously, Montezuma's still trying over here, I guess. But in even bigger news, the Dutch have destroyed England. Obviously, I think we all predicted this was eventually going to happen. I don't really know what's going on with Scotland and the Aztecs. Maybe they were all trying to get a piece out of the crumbling English Empire. I just don't know why they're still here. The Netherlands might also be getting this free city as well, which I'm assuming revolted from Poland. Obviously, that's not very good. Yeah, because Jadwiga is just in a really tough spot. I mean, last time we checked, the Romans had the #1 military. Obviously, you always want to worry about the Russians if you're Poland. And as we were talking about, I mean, I would say the Dutch are in the top 3 in this game. At this point, the age of imperialism has already passed. Obviously, we've got like tanks and helicopters, but Africa has been fully colonized, not necessarily by the Europeans though. I was actually a little bit disappointed to see only the Romans and the Spanish make it down here. I mean, you might be able to count Egypt as well with this really strange thing they got going on here in sub-Saharan Africa. It's kind of amazing that they've still held on to this. I mean, especially considering Cleopatra only has her 4 settlements over here. I don't know why, I have a feeling that she's probably not gonna make it to the end of this video. I was really expecting a massive African war to play out, especially now with the Zulu down here. Still hasn't happened yet. And I'm not sure if it will, just because the Congo are too powerful, and so is Nubia. Oh shit, Tamiris is doing something east of the Caspian Sea. Is this the final fall of the Persian Empire? It might have been. Yeah, they completely collapsed in the last video, and it was very depressing. But at the same time, it pretty much cemented Samaria and India as world powers, and they definitely are at this point. You know, after checking again, Peter the Great does not look all that powerful in Russia. I was wondering, you know, how their relationship would be with Scythia, especially as she's got all her troops down here. I think that, yeah, he might be invaded. I mean, it seems like Norway could definitely use some extra land. I feel like they gotta be struggling. Oh, they're gonna take over Stockholm here soon. All right, goodbye Paradox. But yeah, as I said before, I can't imagine they're getting that much power out of these shitty snow cities. Genghis Khan is having like the greatest comeback of all time. They lost their capital really early to the Chinese, but he ended up getting it back and then either taking or settling these 2 settlements. And I'm thinking very soon here, he'll be doing what he does best, and that's killing Chinese people. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in my Khmer pick. I kind of figured they'd have a much better game. They're doing all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just, I thought they'd destroy Indonesia at this point. The fact that they're still around isn't good. I mean, these are pretty easy cities to just take over. It might have something to do with the fact that they lack a navy, which is understandable. Their empire is just filled up with badass rice farmers. If I want to be honest, I still don't fully understand how the loyalty system works. I have no idea how this Japanese city is still in their control. It's pretty amazing, because I think if any other civ did this, they would have lost it almost immediately. I mean, I don't know. The influx of hot cosplay Japanese women just flown into this continent is probably the reason the Australians are just keeping them around. Both North and South America are just still a huge fucking mess. I mean, the best thing that's happened so far is the settlement of Panama, which is the first time the AI's ever actually settled this coastal city. But yeah, the Brazilians are doing really well for themselves. Early on, they cut off this civ down here, which obviously they never really recovered. Surprisingly, the civ that I thought would end up doing the worst ended up being the first guys to colonize Antarctica. All right, I don't know if they're gonna get much out of this. Maybe some uranium. That might end up being useful. Oh shit. All right, something is going on in the Netherlands. I think there's a war between Spain and the Dutch. Maybe. I mean, they clearly lost this city due to loyalty, and I'm wondering if like rebels just started attacking from here, because I don't know if these 2 civs are at war just yet. Also, amazingly, the Polish got the city back. I'm assuming it might have gone back into that free city mode, because I know the Dutch took it. Either way, these guys got pretty lucky. Yes, as we thought, Stockholm did in fact fall. Won't really help the Norwegians that much. I mean, again, they're struggling up here. I don't see much of a military at all. Okay, I can confirm something really, really bad is happening to the Dutch. I'd have to assume they're going through a dark age, and they're just falling apart through loyalty. I mean, it seems like they're gonna get this shit back. They've got a ton of units, so they can easily just roll back up in here. Oh my god, is there finally a damn war going on over here? I don't think so. It was probably just a free city at one point. Jesus, can we start killing each other? Oh, now Nubia's trying to roll in here. Quite literally, there's kind of a lot of tanks. Oh, they're so close. and they're about to steal the city away from the Mapuche. Checking in on the #1 civ, I'm assuming they still pretty much are #1. India's very scary, although, even though obviously their military is pretty huge as well, there's no way they'd be able to defend these northern lands, especially from a Mongol invasion. Just trying to give some ideas to you. Oh man, this is getting bad. The Spanish Empire took another Dutch city away, which means the Netherlands, they're looking like they're struggling over here. I thought that, you know, they were the major European power. Probably not anymore though. Damn, who's the Khmer trading with? They've got a lot of routes coming up this way. Unfortunately, it won't tell me, but I guess it makes sense. Probably with Japan. Yeah, because Korea has no coastal cities over here. My favorite civilization waifu, Cleopatra, is just incredibly lucky. I don't know how she did it, but she managed to get open borders with both Rome and Spain, which is gonna help her obviously reinforce this strange colonial empire she has. Scotland's clearly trying to revolutionize the whole golfing industry, I guess. He's just throwing this shit down all over Greenland. I've never seen a golf course just randomly in the middle of a bunch of snow like this. Is it even fucking possible to golf in the snow? Damn, now that I'm noticing trade routes, just look at the US. They've got all their traders just rushing over to Europe. They must have something they like over here. It's either the drugs or the hookers, right? Oh, the Mapuche got so lucky. I was gonna say, Nubia was going hard for this city. That would've been pretty amazing to see an African civ in South America. There also seems to be a lot of tension between the Aztecs and Brazil. Both sides are very lucky that this mountain range is kind of here to block the way. Oh, I can confirm these two are at war. Wow, this is the first like major war. Why did it take so long? Anyways, the Brazilians are no pushovers. They've got a lot of mechanized infantry, unless Montezuma attacked while they were all watching soccer. I'm not sure if he's gonna have an advantage here. Also, since we finally have a major conflict, will we see some action out of North America? I mean, this is ridiculous. We've had this standoff all game, basically. Yeah, because I don't think we're gonna see much out of this front. It's gonna be way too difficult for the AI to navigate these mountains. I don't think anything's gonna happen. Oh, and Egypt got nuked. Wow, I missed that. It must have been relative, oh, it was probably like 5 turns ago, something like that. I guess Gilgamesh also took this city away. All right, nice. Things are actually starting to happen. Wow, once again, Geneva has revolted as a free city. It's just killing the Dutch, man. And something's going on with them too. I don't know if they were at war with Poland or maybe, oh yeah, they're having loyalty problems. This civ has just had a devastating video here. Oh, also Rome got nuked. All right, good. Glad to see thousands of innocent people are dying in this video. It's about time. I don't know who they're at war with though. It's kind of a mystery. I mean, it might be Egypt. I don't know if Cleopatra also had uranium over here. I'm wondering if there's a trigger by the late game for the AI. There's just so many conflicts going on. Mongolia is attacking Norway, which they honestly should have done a long time ago. Damn, Korea took everything from the Japanese. They had their own little colony up north here. And hey, look at that. They continued the whole Japanese tradition. Who could have imagined this? Surprisingly, the Aztecs have broke through a little bit, although these units are just gonna get crushed. Oh, it's gonna be a massacre. Panama holds so much strategic value, just its location. For the Brazilians, this would be a really important city to get. Yeah, because I did just notice this native civ has officially bordered off Cape Horn. Without open borders, no one will pass through here. Damn, someone is just nuking the shit out of Egypt. I don't know, I think it might be Nubia. That civ is also very lucky because technically the Congo have bordered them off from the Zulu. Because I'd imagine you wouldn't really want to deal with Shaka. Although he has been pretty peaceful in this video. Wow, just look at the Scythian population. Almost everyone is identifying as attack helicopters. Indonesia, just back at it again with the fucking weird settling. Fort Ross and Dundas Harbor? I don't know, man. Do you guys? Oh, so the Japanese are in fact making progress. They grabbed this city, which might have just became a free city, who knows. It could have also been a peace deal, which would explain some things because I don't think the Korean AI would want to fight two fronts. Are we also going to see the collapse of the Roman Empire? That would be pretty huge. It looks like he's definitely struggling over here. I mean, he's obviously not as powerful as when we first started. Yeah, the nukes are just flying at this stage in the game. Even Nubia got a little bit herself, which makes sense. I think she's the one responsible for all this up here, so she should know what it feels like. San Antonio. San Antonio. This mod is supposed to name cities after their real-life locations. I don't think anything's down here named San Antonio, though. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's about to be 2050, which means all this shit's gonna melt away anyways. Real quick late-game religious update. We've got Shinto in complete control in North America, and that's because the Aztecs have really been pushing that quite a bit. And it's Eastern Orthodox in South America, brought to us by these guys down here, which would explain why they haven't been that aggressive. A pretty massive majority of Europe is Protestant, and it stretches pretty far too. I mean, even Russia has fully converted. This is where things start to get a little bit different though. Scythia is Buddhist. Oh, and I can confirm most of the world is actually following Buddha with 145 cities. Okay, I don't know if I can confirm this, but I believe the Aztecs won this game. Even though technically India was making more science per turn, so I don't really get that. But he also had a lot of cities, which means it wasn't gonna be easy to get to the next tech. Oh, he is still #1 in terms of score though, which doesn't necessarily change anything. I mean, the Aztecs still definitely could have won the science victory. Score doesn't mean all that much. Well, anyways, guys, I think that was our series. This game is pretty much over. I might continue to have it autoplay and see if anything interesting happens for the next maybe 75 turns or something like that. If there is a reason for me to come back, then I will. But I was a little disappointed in the lack of major, huge wars. It obviously still seems like the Civ 5 AI did a much better job of that, but the loyalty mechanic is very interesting. There were some things that happened that wouldn't have happened, obviously, in other games. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And as always, big thanks to my supporters on Patreon: Elfie, Wyon, my supreme leader Kim Jong-un, Elijah Senpai, Jens the Love Disc, Co Anthony, Sean Spillman, Drew's Big Boy Crack Daddy, Jungkook's Bay, Drew Loves Seb, Kirby, Matthew Ellis, Roosferication, Matthew King, and Furry Cruz.